So I quit practicing my saxophone. Now I know some of you are saying this. No, say it isn't so. It is so. And I'll tell you what I'm doing and how it'll apply to you in just a minute. My name is Dave. I teach people how to play the saxophone. And if you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Now, back to what I'm not doing, not practicing, all right? Now, I know that when you finally hear that what it is I am doing, you're going to split hairs with me and you're going to say, well, Dave, that is practicing. But first, let's define what is practicing. I find that most of my students are rather arbitrary in what they do in terms of practice, right? First of all, it breaks down to time. Do you have time to spend time with your horn? That's the big dividing line right there. If you can cross that line, okay, so you grab your horn, you say, okay, I have X amount of time now to spend with my horn. What should I do? And generally, it's arbitrary stuff without goals. You may do long tones or scales or things that you think you should do. Perhaps something that you just saw on the tube here, something that somebody told you to do that sounds better than what it was that you were doing before. And so you end up kind of going in circles, maybe not getting where you want to go. And that's why I quit practicing. Because, yes, I do the same thing. Now, nobody buys one of these things. It's my Conn 6M, by the way. Nobody buys a saxophone to sit in their room and practice scales and long tones. At least I hope not. Anyway, I mean, in the beginning, sure, you put some time into learning your chops and learning, the skill. But what I'm going to show you that I do covers all those bases, and it moves you ahead. Now, backstory. A couple of years ago, I started a combo. I felt like I'd like to start. I had been, playing rock and roll and R&B for eons, it seems. Ever since I picked up a saxophone at the age of 11, that's pretty much what I played. I started a jazz combo 2 years ago. I felt good enough about my chops that I could, do that. And we play every Wednesday night here in La Mesa at the Space Bar, and we open it up to a jam for anybody who wants to sit in. That could be you if you're in the area. And we play private events, fundraisers, private parties, things like that. And it's been a wonderful experience. Now, perhaps you don't want to start your own band, but maybe you're in a band. Maybe you're in a concert band, a community concert band, or let's just say a community jazz band, big band, something like that. Or maybe you go to jams, maybe you go to blues jams, or whatever it is. What I'm working on, and this relates back to you, is I'm working on the material. I'm working really hard on the material that we're going to play every week. That's what I spend my time on. Not doing, well, I should work on my 16th. No, I should work on, no. I work on the songs, okay? Now, this week we're going to add Stolen Moments by Oliver Nelson. I'd like to add Ceora, C-E-O-R-A, beautiful song by Lee Morgan, and Mr. PC by John Coltrane. And for the purposes of today's discussion, let's talk Mr. PC. Mr. PC, Paul Chambers, the bass player in John Coltrane's group at the time, and he wrote this song as a tribute to him, all right? It's a very simple blues in C minor, concert C minor. That puts us in A minor blues for you alto sax players, and D minor for you B-flat instruments, okay? Mr. PC. Now, what's my approach to learning the song? I'm going to play, and here's where all of the chickens will come to roost here. It's a very simple melody, and I'm sure that you've probably heard it. It's the opening salvo, okay? How I'm going to learn it is not like that. I'm going to make long tones out of each of those notes. What? Yeah. You get the idea, right? I may go even longer. In fact, I would, but I don't want to burn up your time here. What tool am I using at this time? Oh, I have my tuner. It's clipped to the microphone, the music stand, and it works on the vibrations. It can read everything I'm doing and tell me green or red, yes or no. All right, so you can hear those notes, and you can see if you're playing them in tune or not. All right, I mean, that's it. Now, I'm going to do this until I have memorized. I'm not going to worry about rhythm in the beginning. I'm just going to keep doing this and listening to my tone and looking at my intonation until I have memorized this. All right, I'm going to commit the melody to memory, and you should too. It's the only way to move forward. You've got to get off the page as soon as you can. But wait, there's more. All right? I might start practicing it just a little bit more slowly with the metronome. Now, there are two tools here. In fact, three tools. I've mentioned a tuner, a metronome. You have one? Is it sitting in your closet getting dusty? Own up. Fess up. If it is, dust it off and bring it out. Change the batteries because you're going to use it, all right? Oh, it could be in your cell phone too, but I'm a big believer in not having one in your cell phone. Why? Because if you get a text or a message or a call or something like that during practice, practice is now over, isn't it? All right. So we're going to use your tuner. We're going to eventually use your metronome on this business. We're going to be using your air support. Oh, this is so good. You're playing a song and you're not picking arbitrary long tones. You're doing long tones that relate to the song that you're going to play with your band. You dig? All right. I'm supporting my air column with my six-pack abs. Quit laughing. I'm checking my embouchure. I'm checking if I'm squeezing the horn. We all squeeze the horn. Doesn't work. We all bite the mouthpiece. No chewing on the mouthpiece. This gives you a chance to slow down and check yourself out, okay? All right, so once you've got the head memorized, the melody, the head, the word that's interchangeable. Once you've got the melody where you can play it, you can play this against the metronome, all right? Your metronomic. Once you've got it dialed in and you can play this, you can play it reliably every time without boofing. You can speed up a little bit and get it up to, your performance tempo, right? Now, another tool that you're going to want to have is iReal Pro, all right? I'm not recommending, I use it. I get nothing for telling you to use this. The letter I, capital R, Real Pro, okay? That's a beautiful online service. I think it's $12, all right? Maybe the best $12 you'll spend this week. Might be $13. Anyway, get it, use it, play against it. You can play along with it, or you can dial up a track on YouTube and find it on YouTube. Now, I'm accessing the sheet through the Real Book Volume 6, and you want that. Mr. PC is on page 276 for those of you who have Real Book 6 and you want to follow along, okay? You can take a look at this. Now, I told you there's a second step, and it's really super important. We've got the head memorized, okay? You got it. It's in here now. Next step is to memorize the changes. Oh, yes. I'm going to work on the changes. And if you're looking at the sheet, you'll see we have 4 measures in A minor, all right? A minor. This is where your scale work comes in. What's an A minor scale look like? We take out the C sharp and the F sharp. We neutralize the 3 and the 7 to make it a Dorian minor. Want to take it to the 9? Right? Next, we've got 2 measures in D minor, right? We take out the C sharp and the F sharp. I want you to talk to me in 2 octaves, by the way. I want you to get up and get into where you're using your palm keys, because the trick of your horn is to make everything balanced. The high notes sound just as pretty and in line and in control as the low notes. Back to A minor for a couple. And I'm blowing through these really fast, and you don't have to do that, okay? I'm blowing through them fast so we can get through the lesson and not suck up most of your day here. Next, we got an F dominant. F dominant. That means we're going to lower the 7th note by a half step. That would give us an E flat in this, along with the B flat. Next, we have a measure in E dominant. E dominant. We're going to, again, lower the 7th note, the D, by a half step. And we wrap it up with 2 measures in A minor. Play the scales forward and play them backward, okay? Up, down, inside out, whatever. You got to get to know them, all right? That's going to be the next biggest thing you got to put in your memory banks up here are the changes, all right? And you have to play them until you got them dialed in. And I had a wonderful teacher once, and he told me that when I could actually play the changes against a metronome without, train wrecking, he said, then I could say that I actually knew the song. Got it? Got it. All right. I'm setting the bar kind of high for you today, but this is where you want to be, okay? This is why I work on songs and not just practice arbitrary stuff. Why? Because, again, I have a goal. I got material. I got stuff I want to do. I have a goal. I have a time frame, all right? I'm going to take out whatever time I have today. If I only have 10 minutes a day, I'm going to work on Mr. PC for 10 minutes. If I have an hour, I'm going to work on, Mr. PC and maybe another song for, that hour. Because I have to have these ready for a week from yesterday. Dig? Okay, there we go. Right, time frame, a goal, something that you want to get done within that frame. That's how you get this. That's how you get this. That's how you make this happen. Okay. I'm stuttering over myself here, but anyway. Now the next step is I'm going to arpeggiate. All right, I'm going to play the 1, 3, 5, and the 7. I can't talk and think at the same time. A minor, 1, 3, 5, and 7. All right. Same with the D minor. I'm going to arpeggiate that. 1, 3, 5, and 7. Back to A minor. Couple of measures there, right? Now, F dominant. E dominant. Back to A. All right, I'm going to work those up. Now I'm going to look for the guide tones. What are the guide tones? Great question. It's a little bit advanced for some of you, but you'll catch on. The guide tones are the 3rd note and the 7th note in the arpeggios. So in the A minor, and I'm talking in E flat, we're going to play a C and a G. Notice how that kind of, the C, the 3 gives us the quality of the chord, and the 7 tells us, is it going to move? Does it need to go somewhere? Or are we home? Are we happy? That wants to move, doesn't it? And those are lovely notes to start, say, a solo progression on. Let's go to the D, F and a C. Now the F dominant. E dominant. Back to A minor. They gooped up again. All right, those are the guide tones, and they will also help you as you start to develop your solo. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on pentatonics. I'm going to work on some of my pentatonic ideas. All right, pentatonic runs, minor pentatonics, and you know all about those. And another form of a minor pentatonic is a blues scale. All right, you know how to do a blues scale, right? As a D blues scale. You can also use those. You can use all of that business in creating your solo or just, your material for Mr. PC. Now, again, I will use it. This material I'm going to use, and I'm going to use this when I start practicing against the iReal Pro backing track, okay? Or a backing track that you might find on YouTube. Millions of them, all right? Anyway, I hope all this stuff helps. That's a lot of work, isn't it? But that's, again, it's guided. I'm going in a direction. I have a thing to do, and I have a date. I have a time to get it done by, all right? If you'd like to dive any deeper into any of this material, reach out to me. I'll put a contact link below. You and I can set up some private consultation time, okay? Hey, that's all I got. I've gone over my time limit here. I said I was going to get this done in 15 minutes, and I'm at 17 minutes now. So thank you all so much for being here. If this helps, hit that subscribe button if you want to see some more of this stuff, and give me a like. It helps me with the YouTube people. All right, thank you so much. Play that horn. Have a good time. Remember, quit practicing, and I'll see you next time around. All right, be good. Be good to each other.